Knowing what I know now, if I could go back, I would have never bought the RSV4. This is my 2020 Aprilia RSV4 1100 factory. This was a demo bike from Aprilia. I believe I paid $23,500. When I went to the dealer, it still had slicks on it and the OEM exhaust, which actually was pretty nice. But I opted for the dealer to install an Akrapovic exhaust and their version of Aprilia's race map. Behind me is a bike that's truly special to me. It's my 2009 Yamaha R6. And this bike I picked up for a measly $5,000. After putting on tires and unlowering it because it did have a lowering link. I also swapped out things like the chain and sprockets and a few other bits. We're still well under 6,500 bucks. Both of these bikes are pretty attainable. Some people are spending 40 to 50 grand on a Honda Civic. So $23,000 for a motorcycle like this, I'd say that's a bargain for what you get. Now the question I'm trying to answer in today's video is $23,000 more fun than $6,000? And the short answer to that is no. No. Don't spend 20K on a super bike, especially if you're just gonna ride it around town. You'll see my breath. It is still raining. It is still really cold. And you know what's funny? The last time I rode the R6, I didn't realize I wasn't running the license plate. There was a Washington State Patrol right on the right of me. No wonder she was looking at me weird. These are OEM rear sets from my Yamaha R6. And these are rear sets from Woodcraft. Look how beautiful those are. What I like about a reputable company like Woodcraft is it comes with instructions. Those cheap eBay ones that you buy, a lot of them don't really work properly. They don't have instructions, sometimes they're missing bolts, and they just don't feel like they're machined as well as these. Look at that. If you can read a picture book, you could put these together. So unlike the OEM rear sets, these are actually fully adjustable. This is the brake lever, and you see these little holes? It's like an eccentric type of adjuster. There's a little pin right there, and depending on what notch you put this in, it adjusts the location of this knob. Moving over to the foot peg, it's the exact same thing. The foot peg is also eccentric, and again, depending on where you place this pin, you can adjust where the foot peg sits. Now, these are the OEM ones, and as you can see, there's absolutely no adjustability. The foot peg is on a spring mechanism. This helps absorb impact if you lay the bike down, but the real weak point to these is this cast aluminum. A lot of people like to replace their foot pegs with solid foot pegs that don't flip up like this. And the problem with that is it'll no longer absorb the impact, and if you drop the bike, it'll snap right about here. These aftermarket foot pegs actually crash better than the OEM ones. And the reason for that is this. You see those little cutouts right there? Well, when you go down, this whole piece was meant to snap. And what's left is about half of the foot peg, which is enough to get you home, or if you're at the track, back to the pits. I'm not gonna install these yet because I ran out of Loctite. Anytime you're doing aftermarket rear sets, you definitely want to Loctite it because you will lose a shifter, a screw, a foot peg, or a lever. Man, it is a beautiful day today. Look at that, look at the sun. Holy cannoli. Gee whiz. I gotta go get some, let's go get some Loctite for these rear sets. We got the Loctite. It's just crazy how warm it is today. I mean, it is bright. Y'all see my face? Holy scannoli. Let's get these off and get the rear sets installed. Okay, this is the rear brake light sensor. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this. I personally am not fat enough to use the rear brakes anyway in the street. Most of the times when I'm using the rear brake, it's because I'm at a stoplight, and it's not like I don't have a rear brake. I could still use them. Deleting this will just keep the light from coming on, which I have no problem with, because my front sensor still works. There we go. Alright, it's lunchtime. I wanted to show you guys who's back. Let's see what we got for lunch. Mungo. My mom's back.
YouTube.
What do we got, Mom? Oh!
Mungo.
Oh, Mungo!
Mungo.
Hell yeah!
Mungo.
Looks so good. Show them a bite real quick.
Okay, you put the meat.
Okay.
See, that's the meat.
Okay.
You put meat. And then, oh, you put the veggie. Veggie. Oh, ayan, veggie sabaw. Then, onion, suka, sili. Sarap yan. Oh, sili, lagay mo dyan. Oh. And then, lemon! Lemon!
So I've run Woodcraft rear sets before, and I kind of already know my settings for the R6. I put mine right here, which is a bit forward and the highest setting. But you can choose any one of these, just make sure it's the same on both sides. This is the important part if you're going to be doing this. Like I said, the eBay ones don't come with instructions, but when you're adjusting your shift lever, it needs to be 90 degrees. Pretty much gives you an even throw when you're shifting up or down. If you don't do that, you'll be able to shift up, but you won't be able to shift down, or vice versa. So here's the #1 reason I even spent $20K on this bike. There's no 600cc, 750, anything else that sounds like that. R1M, Panigale V4, I've owned them all. Big twin cylinder Ducatis, nothing sounds like the V4 from the Aprilia. The Aprilia RS V4 gets a bad rep from people who mostly have never owned an RS V4. They just listen to people, or they look on forums and they say, this bike is unreliable, it blows up, it breaks. I have pushed this bike on the street almost as hard as I would push it at the track. I've owned this bike for almost 2 years, and I have had no issue, even remotely close, that would prompt me to say this bike is unreliable. That said, I don't disagree with people who have had drop valves. The valve issue is something that kept me from buying an Aprilia all these years. If you guys have been following me for a long time, then you know I had an RS V4 prior to this. Not exactly prior, but you know, a few years ago, and I put it on the channel. But technically, this is my first RS V4. I wanted to have this bike despite all those known owner issues. The two minor issues that I've had with this bike is the common spark plug O-ring leak. I had it fixed under warranty. I could have done the work myself, but what are warranties for? The other thing is the gear sensor indicator. Again, another common thing. All these Aprilias, including the RS660, it's a $180 part. This bike is still under warranty. I've called Aprilia. They are willing to replace it, but I'm not willing to make the hour drive for that just yet. If you're gonna argue that this bike hasn't seen the track, it actually has. It actually has, because this bike was a demo bike. It had slicks, and before I owned it, it had about 1,200 miles, and I'd imagine those miles, when it was getting demoed, tested, possibly reviewed, I'm sure there were people who put it through its paces. This exact bike. Now, I had the opportunity to get the newer one, the 2021, when I walked into the dealership, but I wanted the bike that nobody else had, and I wanted the OG headlights. That's my favorite thing. I'm not a huge fan of the LED headlights. I know some people just despise this headlight, but personally for me, I love it. It makes the Aprilia. Here is the thing that I was talking about. I'm in second gear, but really I'm in neutral. What I like about the R6 is being able to shift up and down all day long. I think there's like a fun factor that comes with shifting up and down, revving your bike to its red line, riding the piss out of it, and being nowhere near what this is capable of. When I had the CF Moto 450, I think that's one of the things I praised it for, was it's such a small bike with no power, essentially, that you could just mob around town on and have fun. I wish I could have taken that bike to the track, but I feel like a 450, I would have found its limits so quickly. I remember I couldn't even pass a 650 at the canyons on the 450. Was it still a fun bike? Hell yeah. Is this bike worth $20,000 just for the soundtrack? It's such a subjective thing, man. It is so subjective. Personally, I would rather have a Gixxer 750. I think the Gixxer 750 is the best of both worlds, right? It's not quite the 1000, but it's certainly more powerful than a 600. Some would argue that the 636 is the best of both worlds, and I would agree. Okay, so here's the gear shift indicator issue. When I turn this off and turn it back on, it won't start because it's telling me it's in second, even though the bike is in neutral. So you gotta like find it, and it's annoying as hell, right? So it is what it is. I haven't ran into too much issue because obviously when I start the bike is not going anywhere. It's not like I'm moving. Also, my battery, my battery is dying. It's almost a 4-year-old battery. You would think that the Bosch lithium batteries, because it's lithium, would last longer, but common problem with these Bosch lithiums and these Aprilias. Here's another thing that you get with this bike, especially this bike. 2020, made for 1 year. You get the Pikes Peak winning livery. The RS V4 actually never won Pikes Peak. It was the Tomono V4. One of the rules is you have to have a handlebar, and these are clip-ons. Oh, look at that. ZX12R. Hell yeah. That said, there's a lot more things that you could do with 20,000 bucks. The life of a smoker. Every time we leave, she's got to get one in.
Why does she have sunglasses on her head? Where's she
I don't
going?
know.
There's no sun in this damn place.
Because they're Ray-Bans, so she wants to wear them. Oh my god, hurry up! Alright, we're at South Center Mall. You know what I gotta do? I gotta go get... God, look at this. Gotta go get this mop taken care of. Samir's been on vacation. Let's go. My mom just realized we're at South Center.
I thought we were in Tacoma Mall.
Nah, lady. Jollibee's at Seafood City.
So it's downstairs?
Yeah.
I'll go to Seafood City.
Alright, go ahead, Mom.
Goodbye.
Go ahead. How was your vacation, motherfucker?
I'm sorry for leaving you.
No, I had to go get a shitty haircut from somebody, bro. It was so bad. My wife was like, that sucks. Oh my god. How do I look?
You look cool.
Love you.
You look VIP.
I'm glad he's back from vacation. It was beautiful. Thank you, Samir.
We're trying to find my grandma, the 1966. We can't find her in the sea of ancients.
Damn it, Mom. She's not even answering. Okay, we found Grandma. She had to figure out how to call us. She left her phone in the house, apparently. We've been trying to call her. She had to phone... What?
I found an Ilocano guy, and I have to log in on Facebook because I don't remember anybody's phone number.
Alright, we gotta go. We got like 20 minutes to get there.
Fucking shit.
Look at this Prius. It stands. Look at that. Straight ahead to the mall. Alright, we went from one mall to another mall. Let's go. Christmas! Oh my god, look at this! You know what? I need a drink. I need a drink. Fun. Did you have fun? Yeah. I didn't see any of it. I was too short. Oh my god, yes!
Yeah, bro. Lumpia.
Vegetable lumpia. Oh my god, what up, fam? Hey. My lord and lord, look at that. I'm so excited. Yo, I gotta go get Julian from Jiu-Jitsu, and then we're gonna try this lumpia. It's delicious. Oh my goodness gracious. We got our vinegars right here. Are you a Filipino? You watching this? You know, man. You know how delicious it is. Look at this. It's got carrots, it's got green beans, it's got sprouts, and ground pork. Add some vinegar and onions right on top, just like oh my god. I gotta show you guys this. I'm sorry. Oh, look at that. Oh my. A little bit of rice. Oh, look at you dreaming about that guacamole already. Man, it is foggy, bro. Like, we're coming up on the Narrows Bridge. This is where one of my homies died. I don't know if this is even gonna be a good view, but I'm gonna let you guys check it out. Oh, it's pretty nice. Look at that. It's not bad. Y'all see that? Might be too bright. Ooh. Yeah, this is usually a really beautiful drive, but it is just foggy today. Oh, look at this. Okay, so on Thursday we're picking up the car. If you guys have made it this far, if you watched the last video, you know we're trying to get into car content. I think for a Dovomoto, that's just the right move. I talked to like Red. He watches a lot of content on YouTube. And this car that we're picking up, like personally for me, I'm not really that into. Like we could have picked any car. I had a budget set, but there was so many cars that I looked at, right? Nismo 37Z, that was out. Cool car, but I feel like that car was just a little bit overpriced. I saw one in Sacramento, had a little bit more miles. It was 2 years older, a 2009. The one I looked at was a 2011. But personally, I just don't think 370Z, especially the Nismo, is something we want to take to the track. Because the goal ultimately is to drift it and to do a track event or a few track events. Now, I wanted an FD. I sent those guys an FD. Red had an FD. He said there's a lot of problems that comes with being an FD owner. If we are going to abuse the car a little bit, it's going to cost more to fix like an FD or even a GTT, GTST, a GTR. Those are all on the table. A Mark IV Supra. Ray made a good point, said, well, good luck getting parts from Japan. It's going to be very expensive, and it's going to be a very long process. That said, the car that we chose, I don't know if I want to show y'all. Okay, I'm on TikTok live right now because I don't know why TikTok is not promoting our videos on TikTok. It's promoting a lot of other people's stupid ass videos. I'm not hating, I'm just a little salty. That's okay. I got these dudes on live. Say what's up. They want to see the car, bro. They want to see the car, you cheaters. Y'all can't wait till Saturday's YouTube video. This is what you get. This is what you get for being on my lives. You get sneak peeks, bro. Holy scanzoli. Look at this dude with the hearts. That's what I want, bro. Let's go. I don't want a Honda Civic sounding fucking... But the car that we chose, I think it's perfect. Despite the fact that I'm not in love with it, Red said I can learn to love it, like it can grow to love me. What? You know what I mean. I can grow to love the car, and I don't know, I'm pretty much still not fully invested emotionally, but I am invested in the business. And Red said this is a more attainable car for a lot of the younger audience, or just for anybody in general. A lot of people love this specific car. I think it's fucking overpriced. Just based off of the way I'm talking about it, you guys will probably guess what it is, right? But I think we're getting a good deal. Everybody that I've shown the car to says that is a great deal. I am going to do a motorcycle track day this year, but I've done it. Like, we've done that. I've done it for the channel in the past. I know you guys want to see it. I personally think it's freaking boring to watch people go around in circles. The car track days I've never done. I've been inside Ray's car when he drifted it around the track at his drift event. I want to go and do drift events with him. I want to go and do that. That looks really fun. But I also want to take the car to the track. I know grid life happens a lot in the East Coast. I've heard that they do some on...
To take exit 28 on the left onto State Route 3 South toward Belfair.
I've heard that they do some on the West Coast. That would be cool if I could do like a grid life event. Let's go. Oh god. Let's go get this bike. Okay, this is the bike. This is the Sur-Ron Ultra B. I found the limits on the top speed with this bike with a 12-inch wheel, so I was going to do a 72-volt conversion. But the problem with 72-volt conversions on one of these is it costs as much as one of these. The Sur-Ron Ultra B is a 74-volt 55-amp. This one's also closer to a full-size dirt bike. Same for the rear, but it does have a lot of similarities to the Sur-Ron. I mean, look at that frame. Now, let me put the Talaria next to it. Look at that. It's not really a fair comparison because these don't have the 19s on them, but I just wanted to give you guys the size difference. Again, this is way closer to a true size dirt bike, maybe like an 85. It's not as big as my 125, but I am pretty excited to replace the dirt bikes with this. All right, you guys probably want to see me sit on it. It's not bad. This is me tippy-toeing both sides. It's like a dirt bike. This thing only has about 200 miles, I think 221, let's see. 272. It also has traction control and reverse, which is really nice. It has the typical rub marks when you take this thing off-road. Like most dirt bikes, this looks pretty beat up. But next year, we're gonna convert this into a supermoto. Speaking of next year, I'm gonna show you guys the other project that we're gonna work on for 2024.
go. Let's go.
That's what I want, bro.
Let's go.
My wife would love this fucking car, for real.